Welcome everyone to Wolfstorff Rosenthal's H-1B Toolkits for Employers webinar series. Today we're talking about H-1B online registration. My name is James Pinedo. I'm with the WR Knowledge Base team. And before we jump in, we have a quick legal disclaimer. This does not constitute legal advice and is for informational purposes only. For legal opinions, please schedule a consult with one of our attorneys. Your presenter is a great attorney that we have on our team. Ms. Samantha Hamidan, an associate with the firm in our New York office, specializes in corporate immigration and advises companies and individuals in complex employment-based visa and green card petitions. Ms. Hamidan also represents individuals in family-based petitions. She has experience advising media and technology companies, real estate firms, design agencies, athletes, and many others. She currently sits as a member of Wolfstorff Rosenthal's Diversity and Inclusion Committee. She has a great presentation for you, all ready to go. We'll let her take it from here. Samantha.
Thanks so much, James. As James mentioned, my name is Samantha. I'm an attorney in the New York office, and we're going to talk today about the H-1B CAP online registration. To be eligible for entry in the H-1B CAP lottery this year, employees must have a couple of different qualifications. Just to clarify, the fiscal year 2022 H-1B CAP lottery is for the year that's starting on October 1st, 2021. To be eligible, employees must either have earned a U.S. bachelor's degree or the foreign equivalent, or have earned a U.S. master's degree. For the document evaluation portion, we would like to assess the individual's eligibility as early as possible. So please contact your WR attorney if you would like to get this process started. From the employee, we'll request for you to fill out our RAPID questionnaire. RAPID is our proprietary case management software. I've included a screenshot here for you to be able to see what the process looks like when you're logging on. The questionnaire will guide you through your employment history and ask you to upload documents such as your resume, educational credentials, and of course your immigration documents. And you can upload these securely through the portal. From the employer or human resources side, we request certain duties such as the job duties and the work site, the salary and frequency of pay, if you're paid hourly or paid yearly. We'll also request the company's FEIN and physical address. For the anticipated timeline, we would like to initiate H-1B CAP cases within the month of January so that we are able to assess and collect all necessary documents by February. Now for February 24th, this is a very important date because employers are eligible from that date only to create H-1B registrant accounts, which we will get into specifically how to create those accounts in just a moment. Now, I want to provide a brief caveat here that these dates are based on the fiscal year 2021, so last year's H-1B online registration. Some of you may know last year was the first year that USCIS implemented an online registration system. We're anticipating that the timelines will be roughly the same for this year, but if any changes arise, we will let you know. Now, within the first 3 weeks of March, we are submitting registrations for eligible applicants, and we'll request that the employers electronically sign the G28, the Notice of Entry as attorneys, and review the registrations. Now, the first step to being able to create an account is to go to my.uscis.gov, and you're going to select the Tools option. So it's myuscis.gov or uscis.gov, and you're going to go to Tools. From Tools, there will be a button that says Log in or create a USCIS online account. Select that account. You'll have to enter your email address and receive an email confirmation. Please note that email verification is absolutely required for this. You will not be able to create an account if you do not have email verification. Once you provide your email, the system will send a verification email to the email address that you provided. Please make sure that you have access to the email address that was provided, that it's not somebody else's email, but that you yourself will be able to access it. Please be sure to also check the spam and junk folder to make sure that it didn't get lost in any one of those folders, and then click the link in the email to confirm the account request. Please note that you'll be required to provide both a password and a two-step verification every time you log on, and that's every time you log on. One of these, these two-step verification methods, there are 3 different options. The first is to use an authentication app. The second is to receive a text message. And the third is to receive an email. Regardless of the step that you choose, please make sure that you have access to either one of these options to be able to confirm when you're logging into your email. Now, please also note that USCIS will ask you to create a very strong email password with various letters, numbers, characters, etc. Please be sure and comply with all of those directions to be able to create a secure account. Please note that only one account representative and one FEIN can be associated with the account. If there are multiple affiliates or subsidiaries of a company, if there are different FEINs, then you need to create a separate account for this process. If you already have a USCIS account, if it is not H-1B registrant account, you will have to create a specific H-1B registrant account. Like I mentioned previously, this option is only available after February 24th. During the time period in March, from March 1st to the 20th, we'll be submitting registrations for all eligible applicants. In order for you to confirm, review and confirm your registrations, what will happen is we'll generate a passcode for you to be able to review the G28 and the registrations online. You'll sign in to myuscis.gov following the previous steps that I outlined and enter representative passcode in order to access and review the G28. You're not filing the registration on your own if you have retained WR as counsel throughout this process. We will send you the one-time passcode and you will enter that passcode when you arrive at the site. The first thing to do is select Review the G28. Please review your information as the representative, your name, confirm that you are an accredited representative to represent the company, and confirm also your contact details. To be able to sign the G28, you will either select I accept G28 and I want to provide my signature, or you'll select I decline G28 and I want to send the draft form back to my representative to make updates. If there's any errors or anything is not accurate in the G28 as was provided, please decline it so that we can make the requested edits on our end and resend to you. For this next box, we'll ask that USCIS sends the original notices to our offices so that we are able to securely receive them and then get in contact with you and the beneficiary, the employee. Please do not select any of the remaining boxes unless you've specifically spoken with the WR attorney and confirmed that you would prefer to have these boxes selected. Please go ahead and click I accept the G28 and then select the first box. I request that USCIS send the original notices to the business address of my attorney listed on this form. You're going to confirm the G28. You have to sign electronically, which means providing your full name as a binding electronic signature. Select Next and select Submit the G28. Now that we've submitted the G28, we're going to work towards reviewing and approving the registrations. The first item that's going to come up is the H-1B Registration Program Rules. Now for this, you want to confirm again that these individuals are eligible, first and foremost, for H-1B candidacy, as we noted before, either having a bachelor's degree, which is a U.S. Bachelor's, or the foreign equivalent of the U.S. bachelor's degree, or if we're submitting them for the master's cap, then to make sure that they have a U.S. master's degree. Now for this portion, any degree that is higher than a master's, for example, a doctorate or a medical degree, that also applies for the master's cap. For the program rules, you'll want to just confirm again the fees, which is $10 per registration, as well as confirming that there are no duplicates that you are submitting. Now, a duplicate refers to when you're submitting a registration for the same person, for the same company. You cannot submit multiple registrations for the same person, for the same company. USCIS will regard that as a duplicate and will likely deny the registration. We'll talk more about that later. The next step for a review is just to make sure that all of the company's information is accurate. So you're going to check the company's name, check the details, check the FEIN, the address. You're also going to double check your information as the company representative. You'll want to make sure that your name is spelled correctly and that your contact details are accurate. When the registrations are selected, both WR attorneys and you as the company's representative will receive a confirmation email confirming the beneficiaries that have been selected in the CAP. But please make sure that this information is accurate to make sure that you will be able to receive that email. The next step is going to be to make sure that the beneficiary's information is accurate. Now for this, we recommend being able to pull up the beneficiary's passport or biographical information to make sure that all of these details are accurate. The site is going to ask for details such as the person's name, their country of origin, their date of birth, and just other details that it will probably be easiest to confirm if you have their passport biographical page ready and accessible. Finally, to approve or decline the registration. If there are any errors or any issues with the documents and with the registration that you're reviewing, please decline the registration, which we'll send back to the attorney so that we are able to make any updates before resubmitting. If you do decline the registration, you will have to make sure that you can follow all of these steps again to get up to this point to actually submit it. If you'd like to approve the registration, please select the first option. I accept H-1B registration and will provide my signature, and then select next. By certifying and signing this registration, you are confirming a couple of things. The first is that you're authorized by the company to sign, which means you're an authorized company representative, and that you are authorized to sign documents on behalf of the company. The second thing is that you're consenting to the release of information in the registration for government purposes. The last is under penalty of perjury, you have reviewed the registration. All information in the registration is complete, true, and correct to the best of your knowledge, and that the company actually does intend to file an H-1B petition on behalf of the beneficiaries that are selected in the CAP lottery. If the company does not actually intend to file an H-1B petition in April, May, or June of 2021 for those beneficiaries, then we should not submit registrations for the beneficiaries. To be able to complete approval of the registration, you need to go to the next slide and then select Finish and Send in order to actually notify us that you have finished the registration on your end. If you complete everything on the prior pages and you sign it and you click the certifications, but you do not finish and send, we will not be notified and we will not be able to submit the registration. As I noted before, these are dates that are based on last year's H-1B cap lottery season. We believe that USCIS will maintain the same dates for this year, which is why we're working with the timeframe of February 24th and then March 1st to the 20th to be able to actually submit registrations. Keeping to this timeline, please note that all registrations must be submitted to USCIS online by 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on March 20th. We are requesting to please be able to complete and submit all registrations for approval before March 17th to make sure that we have enough time to get all of these in under the deadline. Please note that the system will be locked automatically. And so if there are any registrations that do not get in before 12 noon on March 20th, those people will not be able to submit registrations for this year's H-1B cap lottery. Once you submit the registration to us, we will be able to then submit it on our end officially. When we submit the registration, the status will be updated to confirm that this has been submitted. And if there are multiple beneficiaries, then you will be able to see all of the beneficiaries and their status that will say submitted at the time. We believe that USCIS will be able to review and run the online lottery in the last few weeks of the month of March. So by March 31st, USCIS will have conducted the online lottery process. By March 31st, we also should hopefully know those beneficiaries which have been selected in the H-1B cap lottery. Like I mentioned before, you want to make sure that all of your contact information is accurate on the site and on the registration, as well as on the G28, to make sure that you will receive those emails that confirm that the beneficiaries who have been selected in the lottery. If the information is incorrect, then you will not receive those emails. Regardless, on the website, it will note those people who have been selected in the lottery. Now, as I mentioned before, last year, there were two lotteries that were actually run. There was the March lottery, and USCIS actually opened up a second lottery in August for a couple of empty slots that had not actually been filled. We do not know if the same will occur this year, but we will continue to keep you posted. With that being said, there is a small chance that those individuals that may say submitted, and they may be selected later down the line. The vast majority of people will have been selected in the March lottery, though. And if they are selected, then their status will show selected here. Now, if the status shows as denied, duplicated, then this is the instance I was speaking about previously, wherein USCIS has probably identified that there were duplicate registrations that were submitted for the same person and for the same company. Now, if the beneficiary has a couple of companies that are submitting registrations on their behalf, that is acceptable. What is not acceptable is to have multiple registrations for the same person for the same company. If USCIS denies that registration, then you will not be able to submit petitions in this year's cap. We are anticipating that by March 31st, USCIS will announce the first round of lottery selections. We will receive emails, and you will receive the emails confirming those beneficiaries. Also included in the email, and which you should be able to download from the website, will be the H-1B selection notice. And that notice is crucial because it will list the individuals who have been selected in the CAP. It will list also the filing address that they should file the H-1B petitions to, and it will have a unique registration number, which is required for the H-1B petition. Now, for the months of April, May, and June, we'll be finalizing petitions and filing with the U.S. Immigration Service. We are not yet in the loop on whether there will be premium processing available for these CAP petitions, but once we find out, you will know. If you would like to file within the first month, so within the month of April or the first week of April, please contact the WR attorney as soon as possible to make sure that we have all of the documents that we need to be able to assist and to make that happen. Please stay tuned for the rest of our H1B CAP webinar series, and thank you so much. We look forward to working with you.